Hi, my name is Tori. Phil and I were raised by our older brother Nick. I'm the youngest sibling. I didn't know my father and only had fragments of memories about my mother. Nick didn't like to talk about her and forbade Phil and me from doing it too. But I had a little secret. One day, I found my mother's photo and had been hiding it under my pillow ever since. Sometimes I like to look at it in secret. Perhaps you have already noticed that I had very long hair. Mom's hair was just as long in the photo. I wanted to look like her, so I was growing it out. One day, I was sitting in my room and video chatting with my friend Laura when Nick stormed into my room. He was wearing an apron and cleaning gloves and shaking a lock of my hair in the air.
Why haven't you cleaned up after yourself? Your hair's clogged up the drain again. It's your turn to do the cleaning today.
I quickly closed the laptop lid. Stop embarrassing me in front of my friends. I pushed Nick out into the corridor and slammed the door in his face. I was so sick of him. He always acted like a strict mom and didn't let me do anything. I felt like my brothers hated me because of my long hair. Maybe it reminded them of Mom. Nick worked a lot and made me help with the housework. Phil worked as a delivery guy, so he didn't have any chores. The next day, Laura and I went shopping. I only came home in the evening and remembered too late that it was my turn to cook dinner. I took money from our piggy bank and ordered food delivery. Soon, Nick came home and we sat down at the table.
What kind of food is this? Did you order it from the restaurant?
Well, yeah. What's the big deal?
What's the big deal? We were saving this money to buy a car.
Nick got really mad and we had a fight. But then Phil came into the living room. He wasn't alone.
This is Lisa, my girlfriend.
Phil sat Lisa down at the table and took us aside. Please stop fighting. Let's pretend to be a normal family for once. For Phil's sake, I held my temper, and Nick also kept quiet. At some point, I noticed that Lisa was looking at Nick with interest and trying to get his attention. For some reason, she was ignoring Phil. When he left to see her off, Nick resumed our conversation.
You have no right to take money from the piggy bank without permission. No pocket money for 2 weeks.
Damn it! I locked myself in my room and screamed into my pillow. Then I took out the picture of Mom. I wish you were here. Living with my brothers is so hard. I came to school in a bad mood the next day and saw a new guy in the classroom. At first, I noticed his gorgeous hair. And then I recognized him. It was Dean, a rising star. He starred in a teen TV series and hair product commercials. Have you heard the news? The new season is being filmed in our city, so Dean will be studying here for now. Laura was a big fan of his, and she wasn't the only one. Dean immediately became popular. I was probably the only one who hated that stupid series. I didn't like Dean either. He was kind of a narcissist and arrogant. Laura and I were going to hang out together after school, but she changed her mind. Can we do it another time? Dean is signing autographs today. She was a real fan. One day, we had a math test. I didn't know the topic and bombed it. Dean wasn't prepared either. Sorry, I was on set a lot, so I didn't have the time to learn anything. He was forgiven while I got an F. I stormed out of the school and saw something that truly devastated me. A cool car drove up to school and Dean's parents got out of it. They hugged and praised him. I was so jealous. My parents had never done that, and I knew we would have to save up for a car for a very, very long time. When I got home, I saw Lisa coming out of the backyard. What was she doing there? Phil was at work. Had she come to see Nick? I saw him hiding something in a drawer in the living room.
I saw your marks. You should study instead of going out with your friends.
I don't have any time to study because I'm constantly cleaning up. Nick finally lost his temper.
You're going to clean the whole house this week without my help. Got it?
He was so infuriating. I locked myself in my room again and took out the picture of my mom. Someone knocked on my door. Nick was standing in the doorway with a tray of cookies and a glass of milk.
Sorry, I overreacted. Here, have a bite.
He put the tray on the table and suddenly froze up. Damn it, I completely forgot to hide my mom's picture.
Do you keep it with you?
Nick took the photo away and I got angry. You have no right to do this.
I have every right. You don't need her.
In the end, we had a terrible fight again. The next day, I even left for school early so as not to see him, but nothing good happened there either. Everyone was discussing Dean. I wanted to be left alone. I brought a couple of sandwiches in the dining room and hid in a secluded place under the stairs. I I was about to eat them when I suddenly noticed someone else was hiding there. Just imagine. It was Dean. What are you doing here? I'm hiding. Shouldn't you be basking in the rays of glory and signing autographs? Sometimes I get tired of the attention. Everyone around me only sees me as a celebrity. No one ever really tried to be my friend. We got to talking. To my surprise, we had a lot in common. Weirdly enough, Dean didn't particularly like the series he starred in. He didn't like that genre at all. However, he liked horror movies just like I did. Dean turned out to be completely different from what I imagined. From that day on, we started hanging out together. Besides horror movies, we both liked tennis and often spent time playing it. One day, Dean asked me over. His family lived in a cool house. Wow. They had a vending machine that made popcorn, a swimming pool, and inflatable slides. I got jealous again. Not only did I not have parents, but my older brothers were constantly bossing me around. When I got home, I saw Phil in the living room. He looked sad. Has something happened? Lisa broke up with me. Maybe she'll change her mind? No, she said she loved someone else. Soon, Nick came back from work. I hadn't cleaned up yet because I was hanging out with Dean.
You're such a slacker. No more going out. Come home right after school.
That infuriated me.
I want to move out. As long as you're underage, I'm responsible for you. There's nothing you can do about it.
I started thinking and came up with an insidious idea. I needed to make Nick lose custody rights. Then I would be able to live without a care in the world. Late at night, I came to Phil's room and told him about my plan. Help me set up Nick. Are you crazy? No way. I spent the next day thinking of ways to convince Phil to help me. Luck smiled at me in the evening. Nick asked me to find a check. I was rummaging through some drawers when I came across a stack of love letters. I immediately remembered that Nick was hiding something. Wait a minute. It was Lisa who had written them. In the letters, she was confessing her love for him. Of course, I showed them to Phil right away. Nick was the one who stole your girlfriend. Phil got very angry. I'd never seen him like that before. Okay, I'm in. The next day, we wore old, torn clothes to school. The teachers were horrified.
What are you wearing?
Our older brother wants to buy a car, so he doesn't want to waste money on clothes for us. You should have seen their faces. Dean came up to me after school. I'm on my way to the set. Do you want to come with me? Of course I do. It was so cool. I was looking around when the director came up to us. Can Tori have a cameo in the episode?
That can be arranged. But I have another idea. Your friend has gorgeous hair. The two of you would look good in a shampoo commercial. Tori, do you want to try it?
Wow. Of course, I agreed. We started filming in a couple of days, and I soon got my first fee. For me, that was big money. But things at home were just as bad. Nick was always picking on me and pissing me off. Phil was angry about Lisa, too. I saw them today. They were talking near the house. She even kissed Nick. How could Nick treat his brother like that? The next day, Phil and I drew bags under our eyes. Everyone at school immediately noticed.
What's wrong with your faces?
We didn't get enough sleep. My brother makes us cook and clean the house at night. At recess, we came to the dining room and asked for some food.
Why can't you buy it?
Our older brother does not give us any pocket money. We don't get enough to eat at home either.
This is all terrible and suspicious. I'm going to contact Child Protection Services. They should see the conditions you live in.
Finally. Soon, something good happened. The series episode with my cameo and the shampoo commercial came out. I immediately got popular. I enjoyed the fame and having money. Dean and I were leaving school one day when we saw his parents' car.
Dean, we are going to a beauty salon.
Tori, you can come with us too. I was glad, but for some reason, Dean frowned. He looked annoyed the whole way there. I would have preferred to stay in and play computer games like a normal teenager. We did a few procedures in the salon, and then a guy came up to us. It turned out to be an agent of a well-known company.
Dean, we'd like to sign another contract with you.
Thank you, but I'm not interested. I want to spend more time playing tennis.
Don't listen to him. Of course he's interested. He's just out of sorts today.
They ignored Dean and signed the contract for him. He got mad and left the salon. I ran after him. What's wrong? You have a lot of fans and your parents adore you and let you do whatever you want. I thought you were different, but it turns out you're just like everyone else. After he left, the agent came up to me.
You can try your luck too. The commercial you starred in did well.
We came to an agreement and I went home. The child services were supposed to come over, so we had to prepare. I wasn't sure I was doing the right thing and thought of abandoning the plan. Then a woman came up to me. Wait, it couldn't be. Was that Mom? Honey, I missed you so much. Is that why you haven't been interested in my life for so many years? Tori, listen to me. I didn't know where you were. I only managed to find you because I saw you in a commercial recently. Your father left right after you were born. I was alone. But then I met a decent man. I wanted to be with him and went to another country for a while. I wanted to bring you with me. I only needed some time. However, Nick became an adult. We never got along. He did everything to have my parental rights taken away and get custody of you and Phil. I wanted to come and get you, but he wouldn't even let me see you. I was feeling so many emotions at once. But most of all, I felt angry with Nick. Phil and I hadn't seen Mom for so many years because of him. I no longer hesitated. He had to lose custody. Phil and I made a mess at home and hid all the food. Our plan worked. The child services were shocked by what they saw. As they were leaving, Nick came home.
What's going on here?
You should be ashamed of yourself for treating children this way. They are coming with us and you will lose custody of them. When we were brought to an orphanage, Phil got upset.
We shouldn't have done it.
I had one more argument left. Sit down. I have to tell you something. Mom has found us and she will come to get us soon. He was so shocked. We only had to wait a little longer and things would be better. Soon, it was time to film the commercial. I worked even harder and earned good money. One day, Nick tried to visit us, but they wouldn't let him in. However, a couple of days later, our mom arrived. Tori, come with me. That gave me pause. Why were they only inviting me? What about Phil? In the car, Mom explained everything. For now, I can only take you in. Phil's paperwork isn't quite ready yet. So I moved in with my mom. At first, I was happy, but then something changed. I had almost no time to study because of work. Mom became my agent. She organized the shootings and took the money for herself. What would you spend it on anyways? We should keep the money in my account. I didn't like the way Mom was acting at all. I was thinking about it one day as I was walking down the street when I suddenly heard my name being called. Tori. Oh, Dean. Hi. What's up? The filming's over and I'm leaving. My parents found another cool project for me. Are they forcing you to work?
It's always been like that.
You're right. They adore me, but only because I bring them money. I never had a normal childhood. At that moment, I sincerely sympathized with him. We talked a little more and parted on a good note. At home, I was met by my disgruntled mother. Where were you? You have to be on set tomorrow morning, so you should get enough sleep to look good. Is that all you care about? How I look and how much money I earn? What are you talking about? No. Her voice sounded very unnatural. I realized that Dina and I had even more in common than I thought. Mom had only shown up when I became popular. She had probably seen me in the commercial and decided to earn extra money. After all, she only took me from the orphanage. She hadn't even met Phil. I thought of Nick. He had wanted to see us and bring us home. He'd always worked so hard. All he asked of us was to help him out a little and study well. The next day, I told the child services the truth about everything. But they didn't believe me.
You're just protecting your big brother.
That was the first time in a while I called Nick.
Tori, I'm so glad you called.
Please tell me about Mom. What happened when we were kids?
Mom never took care of us and had new boyfriends all the time. One day, she even left us and went abroad. She said she didn't need us, and we would only annoy her. After that, I took custody of you and Phil.
How could she do that to us? Especially Nick. How could I be such a fool? The child services did not believe me, but I wasn't about to give up. In the evening, I came to my mother and recorded our conversation on my phone. Tell me the truth. You only want that money and don't care about me, right? What makes you say that? I know everything. Nick told me why you left us. Mom suddenly grimaced. Have you met with Nick again? Okay, I admit it. I saw you in that commercial and decided it was my chance to make some money. I don't really have a career or a personal life. You weren't planning on taking Phil in, were you? Of course not. Why would I want such a burden? Nick might want to bother with you, but not me. Great. The next day, I sent that recording to the child services. They suspended the return of my mother's parental rights, and Phil and I started living with Nick again. Mom had to give back all the money, and I gave them to Nick. You should buy a car. I'm sorry for everything. Nick was so moved that he almost burst out crying. Then he cleared things up with Phil. It turned out that Nick had never dated Lisa. She had a crush on him, so she had tried to get his attention. He barely managed to get rid of her. My brothers and I became a real family. I keep acting in various commercials, but I no longer advertise shampoo. As you can see, my hair is much shorter now. I cut it off because I didn't want to look like my mom anymore. Do you have a person you look up to?
The Foundation's activities are hidden from the people's eyes, but each of you can face the terrible anomalies and immerse yourself in the atmosphere of a powerful organization. The most dangerous objects leave the secret archives pages and come to life in the SCP Chronicle's unpredictable storyline. And for the most desperate individuals who venture to dig into the secret protocols, we always have a portion of amnestics.